Hi, welcome to another episode of Mr. Marty. It's 5:30 in the morning in Mesa, Arizona on a Sunday morning, and the sun's just now coming up, and I thought I'd get the sunrise in the video here outside my house, and I wanted to talk today about diversity and inclusion. These are words that we hear a lot in this society, and I wanted to spend a couple minutes talking about what diversity and inclusion mean to me on a personal level, and how it relates to Bright Horizons. Now, as a white male in this society, pretty much I have really not spent a lot of time thinking about diversity and inclusion, simply because I guess being a white male, that's never really come up for me as a personal issue. I mean, I've always believed that people should be, judged on their merits as opposed to, their gender, their race, their religion, things of this nature. But I never really spent much time really thinking about diversity and inclusion, especially, nowadays it's everybody talks about, how diverse and inclusive they are, when in fact many entities and whatnot are not diverse or inclusive. So when I started looking for a job in an infant room in daycare, this is where I start to think about these issues more, because they start to personally affect me. And that sounds bad, but I mean, it's true, I think, for a lot of us that, it's not until something kind of personally affects us or a family member or whatever that we stop to go, hey, wow, that's not right, or whatnot. And so in this quest I've had to be an infant teacher, I've ran into a lot of prejudice, and I'm here to tell you that I was absolutely blown away by the welcoming, diverse atmosphere that Bright Horizons has. Some of the other centers wouldn't even consider my resume or whatnot, or consider me because I'm a man, because I'm a male, and males are not looked fondly upon in infant or toddler rooms, and there's this prejudice. There's even this feeling that kind of this attitude that kind of permeates the whole discussion, in the sense that men cannot be loving and nurturing and mommy-ish, whatever terms you want to use. It's this idea that men are just too rough, too brutal, too much like men, whatever, the warriors in the society and whatnot. And Bright Horizons has this policy, this cultural outlook, corporate cultural outlook, that says, look, everybody is important, everybody matters. One of the things that I love about Bright Horizons is their child-centered approach to everything, which is a large result of, I've got his book right here, Jim Greenman. And this guy, Jim Greenman, wrote this book called Prime Times, which is kind of the Bible for Bright Horizons. And he worked for Bright Horizons, and he's a man. He's a male in childcare, and so I wanted to come on here and say that not only do I believe in diversity and inclusion, and obviously there's a personal aspect to that for me as a male trying to get into a female-dominated industry. Apart from that, I mean, because I've started doing a lot of thinking about this, being the recipient of bias and prejudice, and people not even willing to consider me based upon my gender. After experiencing that, you walk into a Bright Horizons daycare facility, and you're struck by the fact that diversity and inclusion are not just words. They're not just words to Bright Horizons. I mean, they believe in it. I challenge you, go on their websites of their many facilities across the U.S., and you will see people of all different races, genders. I mean, I was on there the other day, and I saw a director that I'm pretty sure is transgendered. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. That's awesome. And there's a picture of 30 Bright Horizons teachers and directors in Boston that were running in the or in the Pride March marathon that they were doing, the Pride festivals in Massachusetts, and that kind of that's huge. That's huge. Bright Horizons has support groups for men in childcare, gays, lesbians, transgendered. I mean, everybody's welcome. And if you think about it, and again, that's why I wanted to come on here and talk about, diversity and inclusion. If you actually think about this for a moment, would you really want, your child, or, say you working, would you actually want to work in a facility that practices exclusion based upon, religion or race or gender? I mean, I had, when I started off in this quest to be an infant teacher and I started putting in resumes, I mean, I had directors flat out tell me, I won't even consider your qualifications, your education. I won't even consider any of that because you're a guy. You're a guy, and my parents despise the thought of a man being in the infant or toddler rooms, and therefore I'm never going to hire you. And even when you're pointing out that they're breaking federal and state law, they just kind of shrug their shoulders and go, well, yeah, I'm breaking the law, but I'm never, ever going to hire a guy. I mean, I've had people tell me that, and I had one director in an interview, she kept asking me if I was recording it, because she was basically telling me that she was breaking federal and state laws, and she kept saying, are you recording this? Because I'm being honest with you. I'm just telling you this is how it is. I'm never going to hire a man for my infant and toddler rooms. That's just how it is. It's never going to happen, and I don't care what the federal or state governments say about discrimination. And I looked around some of these daycares, and you don't see people of other races. You don't see men in there. You don't see gays and lesbians there, because those facilities, those owners, operators, directors have made a concerted effort to keep men, gays, blacks out. They want to keep them out because this is, I guess, what their clients or their parents have wanted. But when you go into a facility like a Bright Horizons, it's absolutely unbelievable. I mean, they believe in diversity. They believe in acceptance of people of all different cultures, and they get the fact that, yes, I'm a guy, but I'm also a guy who, I think would make an excellent infant and toddler teacher, and all I need is that opportunity, that chance, that consideration, and I'll always be grateful to Bright Horizons for considering me. I mean, even if they did not eventually hire me, I still would sing their praises, simply because they're doing the right thing. Bright Horizons is doing the right thing. They're judging people on their merits and their experience, and or lack thereof, or whatever. But they're not bringing gender or race or orientation or anything else like that into the mix, because that has no business in the mix. I mean, what you're looking for, is, is this person really good with infants and toddlers? Is this person going to come to work every day and love these children and want to be a better infant or toddler teacher. That's the only question. Is this person going to be proactive? Is this person going to, be with the other teachers and working together as a unit, as a team, functioning together to meet the needs of the children? That should be the only question in a hiring decision anywhere at any facility. This type of bias and prejudice just has no place in the 21st century. And when you think about it, you want your daycare facility, whether you're working there or whether you have children there, you want your daycare facility to be as inclusive and as accepting, because we're all different. The children are all different. The teachers are all different. We're not carbon copies of each other. We're not, we're not these, you just, take out a cookie cutter and we're all different. And I just wanted to come on here and say, Bright Horizons is awesome on many different categories, but diversity and inclusion, which is what I wanted to talk about, just amazing. And I'm just so grateful that there are companies out there like Bright Horizons that are willing to look past the fact of your gender, and look at you, look at your qualifications. And I just think that's wonderful. I think that's just absolutely amazing. And I could not be happier that Bright Horizons, that is their policy. So just another episode of Mr. Marty talking about diversity and inclusion and how that's important in a daycare. And that's one of the things I love about Bright Horizons is their policy of diversity and inclusion. So, and you will find a rainbow of colors and people and everything at Bright Horizons. And it's one of the things I love about them. But anyways, until next time, it's 5:30 a.m. in Mesa, Arizona on Sunday morning, and it's another episode of Mr. Marty. Have a great day, folks.